Thank you. Let's say the opening prayer. O Heavenly Father,
O
O
Heavenly Father,
Divine Mother,
Divine Mother,
beloved Jesus Christ,
beloved Jesus Christ,
Blessed Master,
blessed Master,
dearest Mother,
dearest Mother,
beloved David,
beloved David,
saints and sages of all religions,
saints and sages of all religions,
I bow to all of you.
I bow to all of you.
Free my life from all obstacles
Free my life from all obstacles
and give me physical, mental, and spiritual development.
and give me physical, mental, and spiritual development.
Make my mind thy temple.
Make my mind
make my mind thy temple,
Make my heart thy altar.
make my heart
make
thy
my
altar.
heart thy altar,
Make my love thy home.
Make my life thy home.
Be thou the only King,
Be thou
be
the
thou
only King,
reigning on the throne of my consciousness.
reigning on the throne of my consciousness.
Om. 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 Peace,
peace,
bliss,
bliss.
amen.
Amen.
Here's Larry to join me. Perhaps for those who are in a, like Jill, your place, you should have the computer somewhere for everybody can see the screen because we are going to be showing some pictures today.
Yeah.
Would you like to sit here?
Thank you.
Yes, I can.
Play musical chairs for a minute here.
So we're not going to do any meditation or anything. We'll just get into this is really not a regular service, but rather a meeting, huh? Okay, so when we first touched India, we landed in Dum Dum Airport in Calcutta, northeast of Calcutta. And our first place the next morning was to go to, this is YSS, the temple at Dakshineswar. This is on the west side of the Hooghly River. Hooghly is just a branch of the Ganges, but the Ganges comes down and spreads out into a whole bunch of distributaries. Instead of tributaries, there's distributaries at the mouth. And it's one of the most amazing mouths in the world, the Gangetic Delta. Thank you. And so this is just to be on that side. We wanted to talk to them before we went over to Sri Rampur to see if there were. Now, Serampore is where where Sri Yukteswar's ashram was, and it is figures so prominently in the autobiography. I'm sure you all know. And so this is just looking out on the Ganges on the Hooghly. I have other pictures of this temple that we've taken before, but it was such a beautiful day. So that's where we stopped first, and then we went across the river and up further north to the Serampore, to Sri Rampur, where Sri Yukteswar's. This is now the YSS temple on his property. They split the property in half, as you probably all know. So if I'm telling you things you all know too much, you can tell me to move along. And then this is the temple that SRF YSS built there. It's quite beautiful.
When we went inside, they were actually cleaning. It was kind of the middle of the afternoon, and we weren't sure if we should come in, but they said we could come in. But it meant that we couldn't really meditate there because they were cleaning the altars and cleaning the floor and cleaning everything. But they were quite sweet. There were just three devotees that were doing it, and so.
And we couldn't take any pictures inside.
Yeah, a lot of these places.
Now this is, we took this as we left, but we actually first came in on the left. That's where we entered in from the road. This is the state of the house that Sri Yukteswar house was left at. Now SRF YSS owns it.
On the right-hand side, Larry?
Yes, this is the whole property. The left side is the Smriti Mandir. That just means memorial at Mandir. That's the western half, western half of the property, and then you're looking there at the house is the east. I'm sorry, that's the other way around. That's the western half of the other one. But that's where Master would walk in, either from this area here, which we don't know what it looked like, and now they would walk into that house there. And when I was here before, the lower floor had shops in it. So that was quite common.
Yeah, it looks like they're still there. There's the rolling
But it's
Right.
all kind of
roll
boarded
up
up.
doors.
They
Yeah.
bought this in 2023. I'm surprised they haven't got more work done on it, but I guess, you know, how things are money-wise too, I suppose. But you'd think they would improve it. They're going to tear this all down though and put it in the way that it was originally constructed, which when Master was there, because it's been changed since then. And there's another view of the other side of it.
With the swastika, I mean, not the hammer and sickle and everything.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
Right on his building.
well, West Bengal is very like Kerala. It was kind of a communist state at different times. This is the his uncle's place where Master stayed when he was wanting to stay close and going to school. The college is close here too. I didn't get a picture of it. The college that he was in.
Those doors you see right in front of you with the little blue mat in front, that was Master's room.
Oh, I see. With
Yeah,
the red step.
Again, we weren't allowed to take pictures a lot of places in the insides.
Mm.
So, but a lovely little courtyard, and just you get in off the street, and it's just so welcoming to kind of
Were
be
you
away
able
from the
to go
street.
into,
What's
were
that?
you able to go into Master's room?
Yes, we
Yeah,
were.
we did. We do have a picture of Master's
Oh.
room in our larger collection. Pretty austere.
Yeah.
And this is the place where Sri Yukteswar met Babaji. Now, we normally see the banyan tree. It's not very pretty anymore, but I thought it'd be nice to see what the Ganges looks like at that location. It's quite amazing.
Is that the stairs where they're hiding underneath? Because remember, Babaji and his sister come from underneath stairs.
Huh.
Oh, you mean in another story or in the autobiography?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
In this same location, do you
Stairs
remember?
rise up.
Hmm.
I don't remember where that is, but
Yeah.
this it's like the stairs rise up and then they come out from underneath them like from a cave.
Yeah, that's a serious. I forget who it was.
Over to the left-hand side of that picture, there was kind of another little, kind of a makeshift temple
Makeshift
thing,
temple.
and maybe
That was
underneath
in
that there could have been a place.
Banaras.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I have a picture of that.
Bob,
Thing
what-
with Babaji
oh.
and Mataji was Banaras, I think.
Say it
Okay.
again, Bob.
That was in Banaras, wasn't it? At the God. there.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was. And it was Mataji and Babaji came to, and I don't think it was Sri Yukteswar. They came to that one saint who Master said was fully realized. I forget his name. Not Pranabananda, but the other one that he spent time with.
Okay.
Anyway, then
Keshavananda?
no, it's
Keshavananda?
it's not. It's he spent the night with them, if you remember that. He went up in the mountains and he sent him back home, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, shoot.
Ram Gopal.
What's that?
Ram Gopal Mazandur.
Hmm.
Maybe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. That's what Josh was thinking.
Isn't that funny? It might be like that. Yeah, I can't remember that.
Thank you, Joshua.
Anyway, this is the entrance to the temple, the Kali temple in Dakshineswar. This is let's see, this is the 29th, so this is the next day. This one here is the 28th. So this is the next day morning we got up and went to the Kali temple, which took us quite a while to stand in line and get into the
This
temple.
actually isn't the entrance. This is the exit, though, isn't it?
Well, the exit's there, but the entrance is to where the security check is, remember?
Yeah,
And we
so
walked
we're
in
up
right
there,
there,
yeah.
yeah. In fact, can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, what Kate's talking about is that this is the entrance, and then this is the exit here, I think, and over there too. But this is what I wanted to point out was when you go there yourself, I wanted people to know where to go to see where Ramakrishna's room was, because we didn't know that the first time. Like I say, I think I said in one of my emails, this David and Swami Vishwananda got stolen from us by a temple priest, just took them into this area, and then they came back. So.
Now you can't go inside the room, but you can stand at the window and look in, and you could see in there quite well.
And there's two windows, and this window here where the arrow is pointing is the best view by far, and fewer people there too, because this is outside the temple grounds, whereas the temple grounds get quite full of people.
The place was quite
Now,
packed.
So as you move down to the right here, so as you move down, walk out here, you can walk out towards the Ganges, which is where my cursor is. And then you see this on the west side, looking out on the Ganges.
Oh, wow.
parallel. And these are these little Samadhi temples that are all along that western side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you say Samadhi temples, Larry, oh,
This is just real short here. What was that, Jill?
when you say Samadhi temples, is each one of those a different?
Oh, I'm sorry. Those are
Uh,
Shiva temples. What am I saying? Those are Shiva
Okay.
Lingam temples, not Samadhi. Sorry.
And there's each one is a bit different, and it's different people kind of coming in to do pujas and stuff in each of them. They're
Yeah,
just
I don't
tiny.
know why there's so many, and there's individual temples, and they're all just lingam as far as I know.
We don't have a picture of the main Kali.
Grounds we weren't allowed to.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember
You
that.
can go online though and see. There's pictures of the temple inside
A
online.
very large courtyard, and you line up for quite some time to get. We lined up in one line for a while, and then we realized we'd get a better view if we lined up at a different place. And we went and switched lines, and we got all the way to Kali herself. Just as we were coming to, all you do is you get to stand in front of the idol and pranam, and then you give something to the priest, and he then gives you some
Saw it on the other
flowers and-
side after you walk across.
yeah,
Yeah.
some prasad that you can take then. And just as we were getting up there, it was the strangest thing. Kali was playing a little joke on us because there were a man and a woman, and they were elbowing each other to get in front of each other, and we don't think they knew each other. They were yelling at each other, and you made you wonder why they'd be coming to
The temple.
their goddess and to a temple and standing right in front of the priest and being very verbally violent.
Well,
So-
what happens is the side that we came in is free, so you just walk in. That's quite a long line. There was coming in from the other side was where they have either a sponsor or VIPs, or maybe they pay for something. I'm not sure. And they're brought in, and these two things collide. Those two streams collide right in front of Kali. And so this man was coming up from that side. He's a VIP side. Maybe that's what it was. But this woman was already pushing me like crazy. She was pushing everyone. And I just let her go by me, and I just kind of smiled bemusedly. But by that time, I'm right in front of Kali. So, I'm more interested in seeing Kali. And that she then starts this loud yelling because she was trying to get right to the very front. I was only two, Kate and I were both only two people back. And then we got maybe within one person of the gate there. And but the whole thing went crazy. It's just really yelling and screaming. We just took it as God's.
This Kali with her with all her skulls around her, and she's being fierce. So that was fun. Mm.
So it was
so
that one
yeah.
was an actual. Oh, that one was the actual Kali sculpture, not a. Oh no, Kali, not Shiva.
It was it was the Kali that Ramakrishna
Yeah.
used to work.
The idol, the black
idol.
idol, yeah, quite amazing, and often dressed up. And today it was the day we were there. It was quite dressed up. You could only see her face, and maybe her hands.
Now this,
But it's such a crush.
Tell them what
Now
this-
this is across. This is on the west side again, where Serampore was on the west side. This is just south of Serampore, and this is Bellarmouth. This is the temple that Ramakrishna was buried in. I'm not sure if he was cremated or not, but I think he was.
beautiful inside. We sat and
Yeah.
meditated. A lot of people were
Like a big
meditating,
cathedral, beautiful.
and but you can't take pictures again. So
This picture I wasn't supposed to take. If you just turn to the left over here, there's a sign that says no photographs. I didn't notice until I took this one, and I stopped after this one. So, but as usual with Indians, no one even looked askance at me. So, doing that.
Yeah.
And then, so this is the next. We're trying to get through all of the pictures we've got of India. So we've all seen this picture before, but it was nice to be there, and we got to meditate for about 20 minutes.
when we got there were we had a hard time getting there because the woman, the great niece of Master, was out of town, and she barely got back, and she immediately contacted us and said, "You can come now." And we were running out of time. We were supposed to leave the next day, so we were so grateful. We just came right over, and there were 3 other foreigners there. two men from Brazil, I think, and another man from somewhere in Europe. And
Yeah, he
we were
was.
all crowded into that room. The men were kind of back in, one was sitting on this ledge, so a couple of them were back over here, and then Larry and I were down here.
So there's actually a little place you can sit up here, right on top of that right there. And then there's around the corner, there's this room to sit down on the ground, on the floor.
So they accommodated us when we got there, and we all meditated together for
Yeah,
20 minutes.
yeah. And it was very sweet because even though we were crammed in there pretty tightly with 5 of us in there, it didn't seem to matter. It's very interesting. And then this is Sarita Ghosh. So as I think I explained in the email, you saw some of this before. And now we're switching to where do we go next? We went to Mangalore. So we had trips down to Chennai and then over to Mangalore. And then now we just got off the Mangalore flight and got through baggage claim and we're on the thing. And we were just amazed. I just took this picture immediately because this is a modern freeway. No three-wheelers allowed, no bicycles allowed, nobody driving backwards on the road. It is what's called limited access rail freeway. And it goes like this for most of the way down to the ashram. So it's in fact stops right at the ashram.
Just a mile or so down the road.
That's like the road to Agra was when Greg and I went.
Yeah.
We were pretty surprised. No cows
Delhi.
either.
And no cows. But it's raised up quite high too.
Yeah.
I mean, those cars, almost the full length of it, people can go underneath it. And then this is Swamiji's, I don't know that I found that video, okay. So I have a video of how we got into this garden spot though. This is where they teach kids in the open air. And then they now have a closed area, a closed building where they do teaching for kids. But kids, even Muslim girls were there when we were there. They had a big busload of Muslim girls come there and they feed them lunch and then they teach them, but they're all teaching values, not religion at all, of course.
But this is Swamiji. First day we were there, because we got in the evening quite late, and like just in time for bed. Everybody was in bed. We just got into our room and went to bed. And then the next day, about 10 o'clock, we decided to wait for a little while. Well, we went to the flower ceremony and everything, but then at 10 o'clock we went to see Swamiji, and he was sitting there for a while, and then he said, "Come on, what I do around this time?" And he led us away.
I go to my garden, he says.
He usually comes here and sits for some time just quietly.
Although, see, this is where the kids are. His place of sitting can view this area, but he's actually back quite a few trees wrap around him, and he can see around the area. He's quite large. It's behind the new colony, what are called the Satchidananda block, if you remember that terminology.
The
What?
Goshala is
Right, and this is the Goshala back in here. But we got a lot to go through here, so let's go a little bit quicker. Here's Papa's Mandir. And so that's always nice to see when you come down from the new colony. And of course, the canteen is off to the right and the Bhajan Hall is off to the left. There's the L building that Mother was in, although that's been rebuilt also. Mother was in this room right here. They had this whole end of the building. When I was first there in 96, I had this room right here, right in the very area that Mother was at. But of course, with the same floor, but the walls have been changed. And well, someone, Sridhar said, actually not that much was done. They just put some inner walls in. So I thought it was more, bigger construction, but he said, no, the roof is maybe more modern and they put internal walls, whereas before it was kind of wide open. And this is the back end of one of the buildings that was on the Panchavati. This is the Panchavati to the left here, and the Bhajan Hall is up the stairs. And this is the room that we all met Swami Satchidananda in right here.
Yeah.
This is the Ramana building here. And this was an area that they built. I'm not sure if it was built for Swamiji or not. But anyway, this is where he would hold court every day. I'm not trying to be smart there. But I mean, it was where we all could hardly wait to see if they were going to open. This little gate here, everyone who's been there remembers this, especially from these first years. And when it was open, you were allowed to go in, and people just walk in willy-nilly. This is the information center, and now they've got more other office buildings and stuff nowadays. So this is just for people coming in for the first time, and they show people videos if they want to see them. That
scaffolding is because they're going to be getting ready for the festivities. But it went up early because there was the group that owns all that stuff, had had a wedding and they didn't want to take it back to their storage place because they were going to come here at the end of the month. So they just put that up early.
But this is the 25th. You'll see 20. Can you see up at the very top? It's December 25th. It's
No, it says
Oh.
12/10. That's what I'm
12.
saying.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
early.
saw the 25. And then, so now this is looking back down towards the road from that same place, basically, that I was just at. And notice the transformer right on the ground, and there's openings, kids can walk right in there. It's only 38,000 volts, though, so. And now that's looking back the main way to the main hall, the Bajan Hall. And now this was when I went down to the canteen, which is hard to explain to people who haven't been there, but it's behind where I was at. So if you just turn around directly over, well, in fact, if I go the canteen, oops.
Get your mouse ready.
Yeah, the canteen's off to the right here. In fact, that is actually the building, not this close one, but the back one. So it's back that way. All right, so then here's the inside, just to give you an idea. There's David's picture, if you can see where I'm circling. And I always sat right here and looking at him and saying good morning to him. And Kate sat over here, but Mother's picture is not is close to where the places to sit, the tables.
No, I always sat right there.
Yeah, I'm saying you weren't directly in line like I was, because they don't have the. And then this is looking back outside the canteen to see what it's like. They have pictures of Yogi Ram Surat Kumar. There's Sri Ram, Swami Shuddhananda. This is Balaji. He's also got he became Swami Arunachalananda. He was very revered by Papa and everyone. Because he was there from the early days.
He's the manager.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a picture of Mother.
There's
a picture of David. And it's pretty good shape. We took Mother's picture down on this day. They brought it down, well, not this day, on the 25th or 24th or something like that. And Kate cleaned it as best she could, but it's quite difficult to clean because it's got a coating on it, and I'm not sure it's going to be fixable. But anyway, we're thinking about getting a new one of these days. Now, this is back up by the Bajan Hall. The Bajan Hall is to the right, and this is the grounds around the Bajan Hall. So that, there now you can see that we are looking back up. There's the stairs. And this is what's called the Panchavati. There's the banyan tree here, and this is a big peepal tree on the far left here. And then there's 5, they just basically count 5 trees to make it happen. Even if there's 6 or 10, it's called a Panchavati. They identify which ones are the 5 of the Panchavati, much like we're doing on our property. And then this is looking west towards the Centenary Hall, and it's new garden work. That's what was mostly taking a picture of that for, to show you how it looks. It looks so different. And
Swami Muktananda's been sleeping in there where Swami Satchidananda was, but now he's just moved to the place where all of us used to stay or do stay, and he's got the end suite, or it's not really his end room, and because he's finding the stairs very difficult. His knees are going, and the
doctor just wants him not to stress his knees so much. He's worried he's going to fall. He's 80, 81 or so. And so
he's in good shape otherwise. It's just his knees. So
sharp.
Gives you an idea how beautiful and green it was when we were there.
And then this is looking, basically just turning around and looking back down towards the gate. And then here's the inside of the Bajan Hall. I don't know what that artifact is in the front there. Some kind of reflection, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very strange. The magic around Papa.
Looks like
and there's the picture of Jesus that Mother talked about and David talked about. Isn't that nice? That's a beautiful picture.
I always think about that's what Papa would have been looking at.
Yeah, exactly. You pointed that out the other day. I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. Him sitting there, he'd be looking directly at it because it's right over our head with the picture mat. Note, though, that there are many pictures. Like this is Ramakrishna here.
Ramana Maharshi's there.
Is that Ramana Maharshi? Yeah. And there's because like Ramana Maharshi, Ramakrishna, Vivekananda is here, and then in the back, over in the hallways, which wraps around the Bajan Hall, there's pictures everywhere too. Over here on the right and over here on the left, but there's rows of them.
The men are on the left and the women are on the
and
right.
Men on the left. Right?
Just like the way we sit.
And this is the room that where Papa used to live. But once the Bajan Hall got too crowded for functions and things, they built so they moved over in this direction to the right here, and they built a little bedroom there. And then, so what this is the bedroom itself coming through the hallway into the bedroom. Now, when I was first there, so Swamiji said that Papa would sit here and Mataji would sit on the floor next to him, but Mother Hamilton and Father Hamilton would sit sometimes mostly in chairs, but sometimes on the ground. And Swamiji would sit between, amongst them there, but on the ground behind Papa. He says, this is where I would sit while Mother and Father Hamilton were here. Well, they had many wonderful conversations that we know from the Gospel of Swami Ramdas. This is a very holy site too. And this is where Papa and Mataji both passed away in this room.
Mm.
And now we've gone back to the Bhajan Hall, and then this is the Samadhi area that his ashes are placed in here. Now there's also that earlier I mentioned that there was a Samadhi mandir for Papa that's out in the other part of the property. There's ashes there too. That's where his body was cremated. This is where they brought the ashes into here and then made this pedestal, and then they
And
made
his bones.
and his bones. Some of his bones are still there. And then Swamiji got one on the left and Mataji got one on the right in later years. And there's a picture of Papa in 1923, end of 23. And that's Papa when he was a young man and married. Before and after the transformation from Ram. This is the outside of the building again. This is the front door, the place we were just looking at over in this area. And people don't get, I like to take some things that people don't normally see. And this is the side of the building. You can see it's pretty small and it gets jam packed in there.
Yeah.
This is back the other side of the L building. That's why it's called an L building. You can see the shape. And this is now the L building on the right. And so I see what that woman is. That last picture, I was standing right there to take that last picture. So that's looking down that way.
Yeah, you
Now
can
we're
see
on
the
this side.
laundry
Yeah.
easier than the women.
And this is a place for guests now. It used to be a goshala. They used to have cows here, and then they moved down much bigger and more of them down below. So in the early days, this was where it was. And then here's the L building, the other side as we continue around. And then this is Swami Sannyasananda. His name was Giant when I was there originally, when we were all there. And then he took sannyas just a few years ago. I forget why. Or did something happen? Maybe his wife had passed away. I'm not sure why he did, but
He just was ready to
yeah, somehow.
give up the world entirely.
Yeah. And this is a friend of ours. Now, some of you have heard of Christopher Pegler, and that's Christopher,
Oh, yeah.
and that's his wife. What is Zareen? Zareen. She's actually Parsi.
She's
isn't
a
she?
Parsi from
Yeah,
Bombay.
from Bombay.
She hates to get a picture taken, so this was quite a feat. We had to get the picture taken.
And he also wasn't too keen on it. But
He was David's roommate the first year David was there.
David really spoke really wonderfully about him. He was a really good person, and he's such a mild-mannered, brilliant man. He's very, very interesting. He's got a wonderful
He
website.
did all the interviews, didn't he? Isn't he the one who went around and did the interviews?
No, not the ones.
That's not him.
No,
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 but he's got
not
his
that
own
one.
website,
Okay.
so he might have done some things, but
He-
no, you're thinking of John David or something like that.
Christopher's a devotee of Anandamoy Ma, and he has a nice website for Anandamoy Ma.
And they spend about 4 months in India every year, and 1 month here at the ashram, and then 2 or 3 months and going up in the north earlier in the year.
They just spent 2 weeks there this time, but at the ashram, they spend up to a month, yeah. So
And then that was the day I left, or the next day I left for Amritapuri to go see Amma. And Kate was not feeling well. She kind of got what I had and was just kind of dragging on. We were worried that if she traveled right when she was getting better, it would get worse. Because every time we did anything, she seemed to get worse. So we decided to do that. This is looking south. There's the Arabian Sea. And I wasn't allowed to take pictures but this is the room I was in, which is on the ashram. I probably was cheating, but I wasn't taking any of the holy sites. This big building in the foreground is where Amma does her daily darshan. It's huge, big building. And then this is the backwater. Now this is parallel to the Arabian Sea, the coast. This particular backwater area is miles long. And it's just like what on the foreground is actually kind of a long island, is what, not just a kind of, it is literally a long, long island with bridges across. This is just a walking bridge here. And then this is Amritapuri town itself. This is Amritapuri ashram. And in the foreground here. And this is, so here's the entrance from, it's hard to tell you where, but my room was behind this area here, just right about where but behind it on the side. There's the Kali temple. That was the first place that was built, and very, very beautiful and interesting in there too. No pictures allowed. This is going across that walking bridge to the other side. I'm still on the west side with Amma's. And then when I got to the top of the bridge, this is the site that you see. So beautiful. Really, and just so alive with, and all the birds love it. I'll show you. I think I've got a video of that. So this is going down into the shops and stuff, and then the town is back behind it there. Yeah. So this is just to show how. Watch these birds. There's just, as I zoom in, you can see more and more of them. Hear the sound. Pretty short.
They have big brown eagles there. I don't know if that's what that is or not.
One of them kind
They
of looked
look
like
like
that.
eagles, don't they? Yeah, I think they were.
Yeah.
And then now this is the same room that I was taking pictures from, facing due west. When at a few hours later, when the sun was going down.
And that's the Arabian Sea.
And that's the Arabian Sea, yeah, looking west. And here's a mongoose. Watch this.
Never seen a mongoose. I was called out of the room saying, look, look, look.
And I stupidly wasn't. I was more paying attention to him and not the camera. But anyway, you gotta see. Well, look at his long tail, though.
Yeah.
Well,
Ricky Tikki Tabe.
Yeah. The only bad thing about it is that somebody said that means there was a snake in that room,
It's almost-
probably.
yeah.
Yes.
So here he is again.
Or a rat. That was a couple of doors away from us.
He was looking at me though, wondering whether to go, and I just let him. I didn't go forward, and that allowed him to go out into the alley there.
First
Well,
mongoose. we
that
got.
was taken at Anandashram then?
That's
Yeah.
right in front of our room.
Two doors down from our
Okay.
room it came out of. Yeah.
Right where there was a bunch of scorpions last time I was there.
I know.
Well, this guy's a little safer, but they don't usually bite unless they get cornered.
They don't mind people. They're just out to get snakes and rats. Anyways, that was exciting. It was fun. It was very cute.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is just a normal satsang with Swami Muktananda. He would be reading and doing things. This year he was focused on In Quest of God. It was 100 years, published 100 years ago in 1925. So but he does this every day anyway.
He's doing a Zoom thing. That's why
And
you
this
can
is
see
Zoom, yeah.
on the screen there. There's the people there that are in their Zoom
Quite a few
class.
people, yeah.
And so he's doing the Zoom at the same time, just kind of like we are. They started it also during the pandemic, and so it's live and on Zoom.
This
Is
is where,
this in the Centenary Hall?
yes.
Centenary Hall?
Yep. Yeah.
Looks different.
It's
Yeah.
got more stuff in it. I think it's actually looks very much the same, but they've got that the television screen in front and the other big screen there.
I just noticed I can zoom in too.
What's the chair?
Yeah, well, I asked him about that. He laughed, kind of smirked, and so did Shruti. It's for bigwigs, and I think they were laughing
Oh.
because no one's ever sat. No one's been considering a bigwig.
Nobody
Yeah.
wants to
Yeah.
be put in that chair. Yeah.
But I think Swami Satchidananda used to sit, but not here.
Not
but,
there.
But in a chair that had, because he would sit cross-legged quite commonly. And so he would, like David's, it would be wider. But I don't know what,
I've never seen that chair
I've never
before.
seen this chair
So,
either.
anyways,
But I'm just saying it might be something that they had set up for Swamiji as honoring him in some way. But I've never seen anyone, nor did we see anyone sit there. And it might be for other VIPs that come, like Amma. Amma came here once too. And the whole ashram was thrilled. Everyone talked about that day she came. And here's just some girls from the school girls these are Hindu girls who were in that classroom, which is off to the left that we showed you at the very beginning. they're so curious about Westerners.
They
of
were
course.
talking to us and asking.
Yeah. Oh, and there was a young girl from Sweden who that's who they're looking at. See, they're not looking at all us older people. They're looking at because they were curious about her and how she was dressed, and her father was with her. So they were very sweet, beautiful women, aren't they? These are like I think 20 years old. I think I asked them and got I can't remember their names now. Now this is when we started with the Sannyas Day celebrations. And this is the ladies doing pradakshina around. You can't see, but there is an arati lamp right behind this woman right here. And that's what they're doing pradakshina around. In the background is the stage, which is where the singers sing. And for some reason, we'll see it in other pictures, but we don't see it, do we? Who is singing? Oh, this woman back here in the blue is singing. See, I see the microphone now. And there's usually a players in the other area here, but maybe they only just needed a harmonium and then her singing.
So the women do it half an hour, just like in the Bhajan Hall, and then have women musicians, and then the men do it half an hour, and they do the production. Now they had invited a number of people from the local area because they were saying, here's all these people coming from all over India to the ashram, and yet the locals don't come that much.
And he said, because we all speak English. You know, most of the programs are in English. Now he speaks Malayalam flawlessly because he was born there. And so he speaks to them fine, but most of the productions, so he said, they then did 3 languages. Everything was done with English, Malayalam, and Hindi. And not that order. I think
Sometimes Tamil too.
Mhm.
But they invited a number of people from the community, and they came out different days, and then a lot of them wanted to do the production. So some, they were always saying to the ones of us that are more local, you let those people do the production and sit down when they're all there. And
mostly the rules were do whatever you want to. Actually, Sundar said that because Swamiji says let them do whatever they want. They know how to coordinate it. And
some of the women saying, "Oh, in fact,
too many people.
Swamiji saw somebody tell me to go and sit down," and I wasn't getting up there all that much because I just wasn't. And so I get up this one time to go around, and somebody said, "Oh, sit down because those other people." And then
Kate understood that.
yeah,
already
I
been told.
just sat down. But Swamiji sent Sundar over to say, Kate is supposed to be able to do it.
She was one of the ones selected. They were going to have just certain selections of people, and then he just decided everyone was regulating things fine. When it got crowded, people would just sit down, So
It was pretty cute. So I went up.
This is Jayashree. She's like 6'1", 2 inches tall, and has a beautiful voice. She does a lot of singing wherever she goes. She lives in Ireland, but she's in India most half the year. She's
often leading things.
This is just another view of the same thing, looking at it from the side there, just to show you what it wasn't nearly as crowded as the celebrations for the
Papa Sannyas. 100th year. Yeah, that was in 23. But it was, they fed 1,500 people on the Papa's Sannyas Day. So
this is 2022, of course. That's when he did.
No, I'm talking about this year even.
Oh, I see.
They fed 1,500 on that day. So there were 1,500.
But the people participating was more like 400, whereas before it was 700. And then lunch, became very big. Here, Swami says, Muktananda, he participated, he was in there, but his legs gave him trouble. So here he is seated up and just enjoying the music. He's really So to give you an idea, this is Swami Muktananda, of course, and this is Swami, I can't remember his name now. It's a hyphenated name from South Africa.
Divine Life? Oh, okay.
In the pink.
In the kind of more red color. What a delightful person. And he's from South Africa. He says he doesn't even speak Indian languages, which is crazy.
Yeah, he's born in South Africa.
Yeah.
He's a Shivananda Ashram devotee, Divine Life.
That's right.
Divine Life.
Yeah.
But they invited Swamiji Muktananda out a couple of times. So he's gone there. So this time, this Swami came here. First time we've
Everybody there loves him. He's really very popular. And this is Mani Bai, they call him. from Mangalore, from Bombay.
That
Isn't
doesn't look like, no, that's
Oh,
not money. He's
maybe
too
not.
wide for money.
No, he started putting on.
That's what I was thinking. He's put on some weight
He
since
has
I
put on
saw
weight.
him.
No,
Maybe
but
not
that's
that
not
much.
him.
Yeah.
You'll see him later.
Here's the Swamiji and Nantaman,
Nantaram.
he's 90 years old. He stands perfectly erect. He's just great. Speaks perfectly. His mind is clear as anything. So I just love this because it shows Swamiji being happy about the whole thing. He was not nervous, but he was, wondering what was going to happen because he didn't know who was going to come. And then at this point in the thing, he's very happy. This is the first day, 12/27, which is the day that starts. And but he was, I just could sense that he was just relaxed and then let it, because Sundar was there and taking care of things. He had other people, both Sundars, Office Sundar and Viset Sundar. So they were taking care of a lot of the details. And Shruti and Shraddha and Datta, if you know these names, really wonderful participation. Quite long because I loved it so much, but I'll play a few minutes of it just to give you a
At the
feeling.
end.
Oh, we can do that too. Oh, there's Sridhar. That mother talked about it so much. Right there behind this
When he
man
was a
here.
little boy.
When he was that little 3-year-old boy, if you ever
There's
seen.
money.
No, there's Money right there. But the same bald head, a different shirt. And there's Viset Sundar right there that we stayed with in Pune. He's lovely.
We call him Bhajan Sundar.
Yeah, now he is. That's true. Just a
Cameraman's got
Yeah,
trouble.
that's
Here's
what we
Kate.
think of him.
Here's Kate and doing her. She did about 20 minutes for her voice that she was let somebody do first 10 minutes. And she
So it
did,
wasn't a matter of letting somebody, it was just an interesting way that it was all arranged where two people ended up asking different people to sing that day. So the woman playing the harmonium asked
well,
me,
that's what happened.
and Jayashri asked this young girl was
The
this
pink.
young girl was singing in the Bhajan hall, and she thought, oh, she sings so nice. So she asked her. So we get up on the stage, and Uma says, well,
This is after the wrestling match, by the way.
I asked Kate to do it, so Kate should be doing it. And Jayashri said, well, they're leaving today, and it was, of course, the last day of the program. I said that's fine. I don't have to do it. And Uma was quite put out. She wanted me to do it, and I don't know why. Just
Because it was
because
her idea. Yeah.
I don't know. And so we said, why don't we split the time? And as it turned out, it worked out just perfectly because I'd been fighting this cough the whole time I was at the ashram, and I got through the 20 minutes and just was ready to. I would have. I went into a coughing jag just right after the other girls started, so it was perfect.
And here's Swamiji enjoying everything in one of his poses after he'd come back. And this is the confag. This is how Swamiji dealt with everything. He would do little conversations with Sundar, and then things would move along every day.
See how crowded it is. Sometimes you can hardly move when you're walking around in the.
This is Office Sundar. He's going to be kind of taking over, we understand.
He has no hair now, eh?
Yeah, no kidding. Well, he's cut. I think he shaves his head
But it's
more,
not
but
very
you're right.
much, yeah.
He's sitting on top.
Yeah.
I'm sure glad that's not happening to me.
There's
There's our
Shruti.
Shruti, yes. And this
Jill,
is
Jill,
Sundar's-
Jill, Jill, Jill.
Sorry? Jill.
Greg's saying, Jill.
Jill. This is Viset Sundar or Bhajan Sundar's mother, Sharda. And this is Kananma, who was the wife to the Kanan, if you remember him.
They're
We
all-
used to call him Canon, but we've learned it's Kanan.
They're
Yeah.
all this wonderful man called Sundaram,
Is their father.
who is their father. They're very prominent ashram family, generations.
Yeah.
That
Their grandfather was Atmananda, who was with Gandhi. So Swami Atmananda is that picture that we have of sitting at the feet of Ramdas. That's the man who's sitting there, and that's their grandfather. So it's multi-generational.
And Sundar's mom, does she live at the ashram or no?
Yeah, they live, I mean, his father just passed away a year or so ago, but they've been living at the ashram off and on for years.
Yeah.
And
20, I think she
and,
said.
yeah, she lives full time there.
Okay.
And here's our going away picture. I'm not sure who took it.
So there's Vinay on the left that you remember he came up for
Oh yeah, there's
he
our
came up for retreat. He came just that day. It was
Oh,
the only day we
yes.
saw him, and his son is down in the foreground. His little son.
Oh,
And then this is all that Sundaram family. A lot of them were together, and we were kind of honorary family members that day and got to be in with
oh,
all the family pictures.
This is John B. This is Sundar.
Sundar's wife.
Sundar's wife.
We
Yeah.
stayed with in Pune, and Swami Chandrananda.
This is the eldest of the three daughters of Sundaram, and that
Bhavani Ma.
Bhavani Ma,
Yeah.
Kanama, and then Sharma.
And then this is Alpha Sundar's brother.
Right. Oh, he's
Oh,
And then the old lady is grandma I'm not sure whose mother she is, but she's the grandma. And then there's another, I think that was another Sundar daughter too. So
who was next to Bhajan Sundar? The woman.
that's
that's
who he
that's
said,
I
yeah.
think the youngest daughter of the other generation, or a daughter-in-law.
Oh,
And
okay.
cousin, Sundar's cousin,
Yeah,
maybe?
something like that.
Sundar's wife is here.
Yeah.
Sundar's
Swami
wife's in the yellow,
Muktananda's in the way back.
in
Yeah,
the front.
that's one.
Yeah.
And then that's
So this is our
Vinay,
last. This is our last day.
We're just getting ready to leave,
We're
yeah.
just about ready to leave, and then we
Aw.
ended up in Pune. And then the first place we went is to Hare Krishna Mandir because Kate wants to visit these places that she's been reading about with Mother, and so
I was hoping to get some pictures. We couldn't take pictures in the inside, but we were just mostly there to see what Mother had seen, and then we had a wonderful time there, just wonderful.
And this is Janvi, and then here's Sundar again, and this is Dilip Kumar Roy and Indira Devi's ashram. And she stayed there only 20 years after him. So he died in 1980 and she died in late 90s.
And Mother was there.
And Mother was there and knew them, and that she was actually, they didn't allow us any pictures inside. So these are the Samadhi mandirs for, let's see, this is the one for Indira Devi, and then this one in the back is the one for Dilip Kumar Roy. So it gives you a feeling for the grounds. Beautifully well kept. Nice people. These ladies were just so good to us. These two in the front, they're so happy to see us. Very sweet. So, yeah.
And it's not a busy ashram.
Actually, it was today. They just finished service. They had maybe 30, 40 people there, maybe something like that.
Okay.
And then we got to go up in the upper floor too, where they had their library and where his bedroom
And her bedroom.
and held court also, because he had all his building, all his books and stuff around there, and desk and everything. It's really very holy feeling place. Now later the next day, I think it was, let's see, that's the 4th. Yeah, this is the 5th of January. We were at a fancy guy's house, condo. And so he was sponsoring a new ashram being built for the Swami. I'll show you in a minute. I'm sorry, this man here, that's Nanda is his name, but I wanted to show you this picture because the Swami we're going to see is in the room, but this is when he was much younger. And so they were thrilled. John B. found this picture and brought it to them so they could have a picture for the ashram. And it's just, there's funding going on here and raising funds and stuff like that, I think. But anyway, and this is the Swami Chidananda, and he gave a wonderful talk. I thought I do have a recording of it, and I'll figure out how to show it. And then here, as we got to sit, Sundar is singing and Swamiji is sitting. He is so easy to sit around and be with. He just makes the whole room relax. It's just something about some people who have this, this capability, where people gather around him. These ladies here who in the foreground, they came with him. And when they entered the room, it just, even though the noise didn't really change very much, it just became, well, I guess everyone was looking at him. And he's so easy to talk to, very easy nature, very sweet. Okay, now Kate and I took
The
off.
picture of John, did you see John V in that Look at her looking
yeah.
at
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Good point.
That's
Very
his
sweet.
Oh, yeah,
Kindergarten.
everyone here
Uh-huh.
knows him well, and that's why they're raising funds from. Some of these people are very well off. These are high caste Brahmins, and
There's a
I-
gorgeous
oh, this
apartment. This is
apartment you
amazing.
wouldn't believe it's bigger than our house here. Actually, just this floor. He owns the whole floor, and he owns the floor down below it. There's 4 or 5, 6 or 7 stories. So he owns the property too.
Not the Swami, but the man
No,
who
that
hosted it. Yeah.
unfortunately, I don't have a picture of him. And now we went to Meherabad. This is the Samadhi Mandir for Meher Baba, and we got to go in, and you just have the free run of the place. You bow down and touch the. And this is an older picture of it when Baba was still alive. He designed this and wanted this to be his resting place. So that's where that's why this is already built well in advance of his. I'm not sure what year this is. It's just something I found on the internet. Now, we were not allowed to take pictures in there that I remember. Maybe we were, I forget. But either way, this is a nice picture I found on the internet. I thought I would show you what we saw. And you can kneel right here, and people put gifts and flowers and everything. But it's
What
very,
are the murals around the edge, Larry?
yeah, aren't they? Are there paintings? I don't know what the story
There
is.
seems to be a lot. There's a lot of art
Yeah.
in his places. A lot of artists were
I'll
not.
show you. Actually, we'll be moving. So here's the guest house. This is quite a while. This took us 10-minute drive to get to this. If you walk, you can walk it in 10 minutes too, because there's a shortcut, but you have to drive clear around the property to get to it. And this is the guest house.
So we could have stayed there if we'd planned it. We didn't know about it. And
We
so
didn't know it was that nice too. And then this is the entrance to the main hall. It's beautiful painting.
in the
of it.
guest house, yeah.
Oh, look at that painting.
Yeah. And then this is some beautiful artwork. I forget the story with this. Who did all this tile work? But it was done by one group or one
Yeah, I forget it.
person. I forget. But this is huge. That's
This
just
is the
one
courtyard,
That's one.
yeah.
Maybe quarter of the whole scene. Now this is inside. So this is outside in the outside dining area. You can see some places to sit, but mostly this time of year they're inside. And this is the inside. And this is what's inside the building. All the art. There's tons more, and I didn't take pictures of it all, but I wanted to catch a few. This is with him at the alphabet board. Oh, I thought I had more, but anyway, this is quite beautiful too. There's some other beautiful paintings. Now we're off to Shirdi. We can't take any pictures anywhere here, but this is the entrance area, gate 2A for senior citizens. So we got somewhat VIP. We would have paid for the VIP pass if we'd known. We just found out this was available. It's free. So, and we met the nicest people as usual. People who, were in the military and knew all about Rani Khet and Dwarhat and all of that. We didn't talk about Master, did we? Or hit our path. But anyway, yeah, they were real devotees too.
So you go inside the door, and then you're in this long kind of holding pen with, like, if you
Like
think
the
of
airport.
like at the airport,
Mhm.
like, and you're lining up to go to the ticket booth, and you go back and forth and back and forth. But nice thing is they had these the fences had little seats on them,
Fold down and some fold
so
down.
you could sit down while you're waiting.
For the elderly
um,
people.
So about an hour, I guess, we lined up and then got to go in, and you get to go up and see the image of Sai Baba. And then you go outside from there, and there's the tree that he used to sit under. That was really special. And then some museum that you could see pictures of him and various things from that
Like
time.
at the like at Amma's do things too. They had the nicest security people, the cops, even the police that were very good people to interact with. And then inside, all of the people guiding around were very respectful, very polite, and very open to anything you needed. They weren't pushy or anything like that. So it was kind of nice to see how well this is so beautifully run, just really beautifully run.
So is it a pretty developed big city around it? I always imagined him
It's
out
not
in
a
the
big
woods.
city.
Well,
kind
but I
of.
mean,
It's not a big city.
It extends out quite a bit more than David's time, for instance. I think I know now where David was crossing with Phyllis when he tells his story, but because I don't have pictures of the inside, I can't verify it. But there's a little road that you had to go across at one point, because it's kind of like a access road that David talked about. And I remember that. So I felt so strongly that that's what David was talking about.
Hmm.
Oh, is that it?
That's it.
Okay. So.
So that was our time in India. Well, that was representative of our time in India, because we
Right.
spent most of our time was at the ashram,
Mhm.
and that was just as wonderful as it always is. And
Those were great shots, you guys. Thank you.
Good, thanks.
It's
Ah.
always wonderful to see the color of India, you know.
I know, so
And you
true.
see it, you can feel the heat, you know, you can just get the feeling, the smells.
the smells, yeah, the smells are very distinctive. I know when I've gotten off the plane before, there's that smell, and you think, oh, you don't like it, but it reminds you of India, and you like it because of that. I'd say that we had wonderful weather this time. Hardly any weather that was, just a few days that we came in and were really sticky, and you took a shower in the middle of the day. But the air pollution was bad everywhere, even the ashram. Not terrible at the ashram, but everywhere else where it was
Pune, I wore long sleeve shirts. I mean, it was amazing.
the weather-wise. And
Yeah. But here, in not here, but I mean in ashram, yeah, we never had to wear anything but cool things.
but it so it's kind of a shame that finally you get the nice weather and then you can't breathe. So that there always seems to be some challenge about India. It's that you take the good with the bad.
When
And
Greg and I were in Delhi, you couldn't see 40 feet.
I can't even
Oh,
imagine.
that's something, isn't it? Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
they're burning the fields.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's really prohibitive. I mean, I wouldn't be able to live in any of the big cities. It just would be
Even Pune was pretty bad.
Pune was bad. It was up to the
It's up on the hills too, more so.
it's up to the hazardous for everybody kind of. Some days would go down, and the good days were bad for sensitive people, but then it would go up to hazardous for everybody. So that was
It
unfortunate.
was better when we didn't know.
Better when you didn't know. I just went to
Better
look
when
because
you
I
weren't.
thought it was pretty bad, and I wanted to see how bad it was. And yeah, it was bad. So yeah, maybe better when you don't know. But I've never had as much trouble as I had this time, just in terms of the breathing. So that's too bad. But you always have to have a challenge on a pilgrimage. It's part of what it is. And but very happy to have been there again.
Larry and Kate.
Larry and Kate, could you just address real quickly some of the spiritual vibration you may have found in some of these places?
Well, I'm always the most moved by going to Master Serampur or Sri Yukteswar's ashram. Though it doesn't look like much, it just means so much to all of us who read the autobiography. And to think of all the years and critical years that Master had spent there, it just makes it very holy ground. It's funny to see it in the state it's in now, but I think that's one of the places. I love the Kali temple, even without the yelling and screaming, even with it, I should say.
It had a
But-
definite powerful
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
And you felt it just as you approached the whole place that Kali was housed in. You just kind of felt a jump of Shakti inside
You
you.
do, you feel it.
And it even starts as you just walk onto the grounds, and then even more so as you're there. And it's not just imagination of, oh, I'm lining up with all these people who are wanting to go see. And I'm not even, I would never have described myself as somebody who has to go see an idol or even cares about idols. And there's something, and I don't think it's just what all the people, the energy they're giving to it. It's something in the space itself and the image itself, and then of course all the devotees coming into it. But it just kind of hits you, and with a dose of Shakti, a hit of Shakti. And I would say the same thing about being at Sai Baba's. And again, that there's just something very, very powerful about it. And just knowing who he is too. Of course, Kali's a god, and you can dispute whether it's real or not or whatever. But Sai Baba was a saint.
Guy 100 years
God.
ago.
What? Not that many
Yeah.
years
No,
ago. No,
a
exactly.
human that was
Yeah,
there 100 years
exactly.
ago.
And Meher Baba as well. And
Mhm.
so there was those places, and obviously, as Larry said, Master's place, Ramakrishna's temple too.
Temple
You
was
had the
really-
same kind of feeling.
We still got kicked out of that too.
Yeah, we got there unfortunately just
Really?
before the lunch hour, which was supposed to be noon, and it turned out to be 11, and so we weren't there very long. I have to say the one thing that really was wonderful this time was at an ashram, and I would go in early. Swami Muktananda had started because he was staying in the Centenary Hall. He was sleeping there. He would come out into the main room where Swamiji slept. That not the room where everybody meets for satsang, but the room that Swami Satchidananda used to sleep, and where his bed is still there. And he would meditate in the morning. And so I used to go and sit there and meditate. That was kind of my habit for the last number of times that I've been at the ashram. So I got there one day and I could see Swamiji sitting in there in the quiet, and I didn't want to disturb him, so I sat out in the main hall. And then a little after that, the three sisters, the Sundram sisters, come along, and they go in to pranams to Swamiji just a little bit before he's going to go over and do the flower ceremony. So they said, come on. So I went in and with them, and then they left to go to the Bhajan hall, and I just sat down in one of the chairs there. And after that, one of the sisters said, you can go on in. He won't mind you going in. And I said, no, I don't want to bother him. The door is closed. I'll go in when you go in. So I would have about 10, 15 minutes in there with him. As soon as I sat down, I just immediately felt, now part of it's sitting in front of Swami Satchidananda's bed, but just sitting there with Swami Muktananda too, it was an immediate.
We loved all of our time with him. He's just exemplary person, and he's
coming into his own.
He's always been there, but he's showing more. He's more relaxed. Office Sundar is taking over more of the responsibilities. He's cut his office hours down, just as on the January 1st is when he started a new program where he would be at the, doing, darshan and all that, much less. So, trying to rest more.
But that alone doesn't explain it. What explains it is that he's been doing that inward journey himself, and it's showing
Working
his
for Papa.
spiritual stature,
Really,
and
feel
it's you can feel it with him.
Yeah.
So it's really a blessing.
and just also the gratitude I feel for him that he's done this. It's really, really important. That's an important ashram. He knows very in his inmost soul how important the legacy of Papa and Mataji and Swamiji is. So he respects that as an uppermost, and he completely sacrifices himself for that. He really does.
So and then
Thank you very
Pune
much
was-
for that.
Pune was a delightful addition to our time. When Sundar was out here with Swamiji and staying at our place, he said, okay, so now next time you come in, you have to come and stay with us. So we had just the most wonderful time.
Yeah. They gave up their room. They have an ensuite bathroom, double, almost a queen size or king size bed, huge. And then they slept in the guest room, which is still very nice, by the way. But they had to share the common bathroom for the guests and stuff. It was a nice, beautiful condo that Sundar paid for his parents to live there in their latter years before they went to the ashram years ago. So he bought that condo years and years ago. It's been fixed up. And so they're right now at a point where there's no rent, and they have a really nice second floor condo, and their life is pretty good. And Janvi is still working, so they have some income. And then Swamiji works. Sundar works at the ashram. Quite a few things going on at the ashram all the time, and he's asked. They call him down to work there, and Janvi goes whenever she can. Also, good life.
But we just sat around talking about God, and then we went out to those different satsangs with them. And then we took off by ourselves for a couple of days. Sundar's knees were bothering him, so he didn't come with us. Janvi had to work. but that was just a delightful time.
Amazing food there too. They were really
Something else.
spoiling it. So, I mean, the ashram food is good, but this is like another level above that.
So
Everything.
they couldn't have been sweeter to us. So that was a delightful way to end end our time in India. A little personal touch, with seeing how people live away from the ashram.
Well, it's almost 8:40, so
Hurry home.
Thank you, Joshua.
let's say our closing prayer.
That was Peter.
Oh, Heavenly Father,
Oh, Heavenly Father,
Divine Mother,
Divine.
Mother,
I feel the wonder and the beauty
I feel
I
the wonder
feel
and
the
the
wonder and the beauty
of thy glorious presence
of thy
of
glorious
thy glorious
presence
presence
in every part of my being.
in every
in
part of my
every
being.
part of my being.
My heart is bursting with my love for thee.
My heart is
My
bursting
heart
with
is
my love for
bursting
thee.
with my love for
I
thee.
kneel in adoration at thy feet.
I kneel in
I kneel
adoration
in
at thy
adoration
feet
at thy feet
Surrender myself to thee.
and
and
surrender
surrender
myself to
myself
thee.
to thee.
I feel the power of thy perfection
I
I
feel the
feel
power of thy
of thy
perfection
perfection
surging in every cell of my body.
surging in every
surging
cell
in
of my
every
body.
cell of my body.
My mind and my intelligence
My mind
My
and my
mind and my
intelligence
are
intelligence
radiant with thy healing light.
are radiant
are
with thy
radiant
healing.
with thy healing light.
My soul is filled with the ecstasy and bliss
My soul
My
is filled
soul
with
is
the
filled
ecstasy
with
and
the
bliss
ecstasy
of
and bliss
my communion with thee.
of my
of
communion
my
with thee.
communion with thee.
I and my Father are one.
I and my
I
Father
and
are
my
one.
Father are one.
Blessed Spirit,
The spirit of me.
Blessed Spirit,
Blessed
I am he.
Spirit, I am he.
Peace.
Peace, bliss,
Yes.
amen.
Thank you for letting us relive it all.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Put some
much.
music on the way up, and we can all.
Thank you, Larry and Kate.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. So nice to see you. Bye-bye.